Ooh, this is a good one. This is great. Somebody emailed us a question about a leaking shower faucet. You can see here, it's disgusting. It's got rust and everything. Richard actually figured out a way how to replace it without ripping the bathroom apart. Great stuff. And here's one from a young couple in their first house. The rooms are covered in wallpaper that's been painted. Tough to get off. Dying to find out how they do it. Well, I'm Steve Thomas, and welcome once again to the loft here at Ask This Old House, where our uniformed attendants, well, not so uniformed, are waiting to answer all your questions about maintaining your old house, whether it's 2 weeks old or 200 years old. So, on to the shower faucet.
Well, this little gem of a house is a bungalow. It's nestled among some pretty new houses over across the street, but it's older than it looks, 1850. Carrie?
Hi.
Richard Trethewey, Ask This Old House.
Nice to meet you.
How are you? Is that a flute I hear playing?
Yes.
Beautiful. Is that a hobby?
No, actually, I'm a music teacher.
Well, it sounds great.
Thanks.
Makes me think of my old piano lessons growing up.
Oh, yes.
So it's a nice little bungalow. How long have you been here?
Yes, just over 2 years.
Great. Can I get the 50-cent tour?
Yes, absolutely. This is our living room here. We spend most of our time in
Everybody
here.
does.
Yeah, with our nice TV.
Okay,
Can't be without that.
Decorating sense.
We've put in all new floors here. There was all carpeting when we moved in, and we just
Who's
ripped it all out. My father and my mother, and my husband and myself, and
super.
other people have helped us, you know, throughout. And this room actually used to be two tiny little rooms.
Yeah.
This was a back room here, and I don't know how they lived in the small room.
I
But
see out back here a kitchen.
yep, this is our kitchen.
Nice and bright.
Yeah, we made it a little brighter than it was.
Yeah.
It was a little dark. The wood paneling was all dark.
You've actually got a pretty good sized lot here and a pool outside.
Yeah.
Is this what you called me about? Let me see a little drip here.
No, actually, it's one of our other problems. But our problem's actually in the bathroom.
Hey, is this the house here?
Yes, that one of the previous owners found that in the basement when
That
they
is
bought the
such a
house.
treasure.
Yeah,
That's great.
it's wonderful to see.
Great. Okay. So which way do I go?
This way.
All right. Maybe you can serenade me while I'm in there. Huh? Okay. Nice little bathroom. What's up?
Our shower faucet right here likes to drip all the time.
Let me see. Hot water too.
Yeah.
All right, so let's start thinking about the bathroom. Are you happy with the bathroom? Any remodels in the future?
Well, we've done most of the bathroom over already, and we're not happy about the shower stall itself, the walls, but right now I think
We're staying.
we're just gonna stay with what we've got.
All right, so the next thing is we could change the whole valve because we can get behind it to replace the whole valve. But that would probably be, I don't know, $300 or $400.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
The other choice is to try and repair this. I mean, it's a valve that we don't see a lot around here. So in order to repair it, I'm not going to have those kind of parts on the truck. But what we could do is turn the water off and try to take it apart carefully and see if the local supply house has the parts.
That sounds like the best fix.
Okay, well, let's start there. It starts by turning off the water.
Okay.
I'll run downstairs.
All right.
With a house this old, I've got to be pretty careful I don't break a pipe when I'm wrenching around down here. So as they say in medicine, first, do no harm. So you got, oh, here's the main supply. There's a meter. So this is the shutoff right here. Turn it to the right very carefully. All right, with the water off, you want to be my apprentice?
Sure.
Okay, first tip is to put a rag right down here so that any parts or screws that come out don't commit suicide down the drain.
Good idea.
Now, we've got to sort of excavate this thing. So it starts by pulling off this index, this cover over the screw. Okay, there's one. Now underneath is a screw that is, looks like it's a regular screw. And we're going to try to back that off. Yep, good. It's a terrible sound when you hear the screw snap. Okay, there it is. Okay, 2 down. Now we want to take this faceplate off, and that's also regular screws, counterclockwise. So have you done any plumbing work in the house here, Carrie?
We had the new pedestal sink put in, but that's it for new things.
Now, this looks like it's been caulked in, so I want to pry this away from the fiberglass wall without scratching the fiberglass. There we go. And there's that. Oh, this looks like an interesting installation. They never even opened up the fiberglass enough for me to get in there. So in order to repair this, I'm going to have to cut open this fiberglass. Time for a new tool. Okay, Carrie, just plug me in. And this is a cutting drill.
All set.
Really good when you don't cut the pipes.
Yeah, I was wondering about that.
Okay, so now there's a top cap that has some screws, and now we'll unscrew those to get below.
What do you expect to find once you open that up?
Well, a single lever valve like this has got a cartridge inside, a pressure balancing cartridge, so we'll pull it out and see how it looks. Okay, we're definitely going to have to go to the parts supply place for all the soft parts. This gasket's gone. Even these 2 little O-rings in there have to be changed. I think we got to take a trip.
All right.
A lot of nice stuff, huh?
Very nice.
You sure I can't convince you to do a new shower valve?
Are you paying?
No, I'm not. But when you do get to going about remodeling, this is the place you got to come to sort of get some good ideas.
Yeah, lots of great ideas.
A little bit of everything. Kitchen sinks. All right, parts department's back here.
In there?
Yeah, trade customers only. Come on, I have the gold card.
All right.
Hey, Jason.
Hey, Rich.
How are you?
Good. How's it going?
I brought my apprentice, Kerry.
Hi.
Jason.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. How are you?
This is the parts I called you about.
Okay.
All right, I pulled it apart, and I'm hoping you can save our bacon because we need these gaskets right here.
Okay.
All right, so you pull that catalog to see if you got the parts?
Sure. Let me see what we can do for you.
Okay.
Let's take a look. Let's get the catalog out. And let's see what we got here.
Yeah, it's the single lever shower
Rich, I
valve.
think it looks like this style over here.
Yep.
Let's see if we got any cut sheets on it here. And all right, so let me see if I've got any rebuild kits that we might be able to
Yeah.
to fix this with.
Yeah, there's the gaskets we're looking for. Great.
All right, great. Let's take a look.
Wish us luck, Kerry. If we don't, we're gonna leave the water off.
Since this is such an old faucet, is it possible that they won't be able to find the parts?
I mean, there's a chance, but you know, they got tons of parts here, and if they don't, they can order them. Hey, how we doing, Jace?
We're doing good, Rich. I'm gonna bring over all the items that I've got for that to
Okay.
rebuild it.
Ooh, you might have gotten lucky. Great. That looks like the right one's in there. Good. That'll work.
Excellent. How about this
All right.
O-ring for over here?
Ooh, awesome. So that'll replace that right there.
Right.
Good. All right. So what do you think the kit's going to be worth? Something like that.
I'd say something like that, about 15 bucks or so.
Well, you saved us big
Great.
time.
Glad we could help.
Put it on my tab.
All right, you got it.
Now, what would happen if I actually came in here without you?
Why? Do you think you got special treatment there? No. I mean, they want you to feel comfortable here. They're in the service business. So come on back sometime
I will.
when you do your kitchen faucet. Well, Carrie, we got lucky that they had the parts that we needed. I got one more of these to put in here. I don't want to drop it down inside the wall. There's 1, 2. Now, I've got this O-ring. Has to go back on here as a replacement part. And now, set this in place. It lines up right there.
What do you think made the parts corrode like that?
Well, it's usually the hot side that goes. I mean, it could have been a little bit of grit or sand, you know, and water can be aggressive too on these parts, both metal and plastic. Okay, Carrie, how's it doing?
All right, seems to be working.
Good. Give it a few more tries. Great. All right, so let me just jump in there and put the final finished plate on. I think we're in business. we did get lucky. All right, so we pop in the index. Give that a try, Carrie. Let's be sure we got it. Turn it on. Okay, turn it on. Now, there's always going to be some water that's in the pipe between here and the spout, so it'll drip for a second, but then it should stop once that water's gone.
Yeah.
I think we got it.
Yeah, great. Wow, that's a huge help. Thanks
Not
so
bad,
much.
huh?
I think I might have to give you some music lessons in
Okay,
return.
great. I will go get my saxophone.
All right, good.
And now, it's time for What Is It?
All right, guys, any guesses on this? A little white plastic
I
ball?
already know what that is.
You do not.
I spotted it right away.
Richard, when's the last time you were on the golf course?
Me? Probably late 80s, early 90s.
Well, you wouldn't know then that they're using less pesticides, less fertilizer, non-invasive rubber spikes.
Yeah.
And this is new. This is a non-invasive tee. Found only in the best golf courses.
You haven't been on the course either, right?
Set it down on the tee, put your ball on top, drive away. The best part, no divots.
Wow.
Right. Look at how high the ball is. You have to cut 4 inches off my clubs to do this.
If your clubs, what clubs are you
Well, in case I take up golf. Yeah, it's exactly what I thought it was. It's at night, you know, when a light bulb burns out, it's still hot. You just go over and you grab it. It'll burn your fingers. This you wrap around the light bulb, and you just unscrew
Oh, that
it.
thing.
You are stretching for this one, Tom.
That fits
That's
like
a
a glove
stretch.
tongue. Beautiful.
Isn't it going to melt?
It's disposable. You just throw it away.
disposable, remove
Use
that.
it once.
Throw it away with the light bulb.
It's obvious to me you guys don't carry your lunch to work in a lunch pail.
Yeah, yours is probably silk, Steve. Right?
You eat off the disgusting roach coach.
Hey,
This-
that's good food. Good
This
stuff.
is for transporting hard-boiled eggs in your lunch pail.
Yeah.
That's what it's for.
Only
Just
you
like
would
that.
do that.
There you go.
Great, Steve. You know, I've given
Bon
up
appetit.
I've given up hard-boiled eggs, so I'll give you that back. Here's the important part of this. Here's the clue. See these two little tabs on the side?
Yeah.
Let's imagine you have a room that you don't want people to get into. You know, say you've got a malt room like we have here,
Yeah, we use that
You know?
one a lot.
right? And you got kids, you don't want them to get in. Well, this goes over the doorknob. And it's with the two little buttons, if you want to open the door, you can. But when the kids try to do it, they can't. It's a child-proof lock for a doorknob.
And they can never figure it out.
Teenagers get it after a while.
You're having trouble with it.
Yeah, I can't get it off. I'll be back.
Well, it's not often we get to work on a pink house. Reminds me of Bermuda or the colors in the Southwest. It's a lovely old Queen Anne Victorian. Let's go inside and see what the homeowners have for us. Hi,
Hi,
I'm Jim Clark from Estes Old House.
Jim. Nice to meet you. Kathleen O'Connor.
Hi, Kathleen.
This is my husband,
Kevin.
Kevin.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to see you.
Thanks for coming. Come on in.
Great.
Cerces, come on. Come on.
This looks like a two-family. Has it always been that way?
The house was built in the late 1800s and it was converted to a two-family in the late 20s,
Oh.
as best we can tell.
In your plans?
Our plans, we're going to keep it as a two-family and do some work on it, as you can see.
Well, it looks like you've been heavily into it already. Looks like you've done some heavy lifting.
Yeah, this was the old kitchen. It was really small, so we took these two walls down, demolished them,
Yeah?
took the ceiling down,
Yeah?
been kind of working our way through it.
Oh, look at this window. Hope you're going to save that.
Going to try to. It's kind of in the way now, but we'll try to figure something out with the space.
That's a beauty. What else? Oh, it looks like you've been at work on wallpaper and plastering.
Yeah, the plastering has been quite a project. It's been I know I'm not very good at it, but I've
It looks like you got a good start. We can
persistent, I guess.
give you
but
some ideas on that.
Great, great.
A lot of sanding, scraping, caulking. It's taken a lot of time. This one's half done, but we finished over here. Got another room that's cleaned up.
Let's see it.
This is going to be the living room.
Great room. Nice light.
Yeah, it's a good room. Had 3 or 4 coats of paint and paper on it, which we took down, and Kathleen did most of the plastering and cleaned it up and painted most of it so that we got a place to live while we do the rest of the house.
It looks like you can exist in here while you work on the rest of it.
Yeah, it's not bad. Nice details. We like the windows. It's a great little spot.
Looks like you did a pretty good job on the plaster, the ceiling. They even did the casings, but You haven't attacked these sash yet.
No, not yet. We kind of ran out of time and wanted to get in here, so, but we want to, you know, try that eventually.
Well, I would give you a suggestion. I would take these right out if you're going to work on them. Don't work on them in your clean living space. Take them out, move them to another room that hasn't been cleaned up yet, and set up a window factory. Strip them down. You can do the outside of it at the same time. Fix the putty, decide on your outside color, paint them up, and then put them back in one at a time as you have time. Then you don't feel so overwhelmed.
Yeah, sounds good. Put Kathleen on it right away.
Sounds great.
Kathleen, you said you had some problem with wallpaper. It looks like you did a pretty good job.
Yeah, the wallpaper's been really tough to get off. Let me show you what we have in the hallway.
Okay.
We've got several layers of wallpaper that has been painted,
Oh, that's a no-no.
so it's a real problem.
Oh, please, promise me, for the rest of the project, you won't do this.
Oh, I can't imagine why anybody ever would, but you know, we really need to get this wallpaper off so that we can put some fresh paint on
Yeah, it's
and clean it up.
this is a tough situation, but I think I can help you. I think what we need to do, though, is set up a proper staging.
Okay,
If you could help me out with that down
Yeah.
the truck.
Be great.
sounds
great.
great.
Let's go. Okay, I think we're all set. We've got a good working height here, good sturdy plank, good drop cloths, and a few good tools. Simple tools, really. Wide scraper blade, some scrubbing pads, various scrapers. This is what we really start with. This helps soften the wallpaper glue. We pour some of that solution into a pump sprayer, just like a garden sprayer. Let's mix some hot water in there, and we spray that on the wall, and that's the first step. Sometimes we actually go to a machine like this. Have you ever seen one of these?
No, haven't used one of those.
It's an electric wallpaper steamer. Pour some water in there, it heats it up. You hold it over the wall.
Doesn't ruin the wall at all?
Nope. Plaster is good and strong, it can stand the heat. Once it gets soft, then you're back to your scraping.
You have to buy that, or can you rent that?
No, these are for rent.
Oh, great.
Okay, so the first step would be, though, whatever method you're going to use, whether it's the steamer or the pump sprayer, you've got to give yourself a little bit of an edge. You've got to use this tool, which will nick the painted surface with these really sharp blades, and let the solution or the steam soak into the wall. Kind of random pattern, go over the whole wall, get a bunch of nicks in there, then we're ready to spray and steam. You want to try it out, Kathleen?
Sure. Okay.
Cover as much territory as you can. Big random pattern, make sure you get the edges and corners. And then we'll start some spraying. Oh,
Is this about what you had in mind?
looking good. Getting it plenty wet.
Nice and wet, yeah.
The wetter the better, because the solution needs to soak in and penetrate through this painted surface.
What is this stuff? It's got a little smell to it.
Yeah, it's some sort of enzyme-based product that softens the glue and allows you to scrape it off.
Let's hope so.
Now the steamer's working.
If it gets wet, it definitely comes off easier.
Yeah, whether the solution comes from the pump sprayer or from the steamer, you got to keep it good and wet, and then you're going to make some quick progress.
A little more solution up here, Jim. Give my arms a break.
You got it. We'll get that wet down. As long as there's so many open edges, it really soaks in. I think we've got this wall licked.
There we go.
So Jim, what's the truth there? Is this how Michelangelo actually got started?
Oh yeah, I have it on good authority. This is it. Oh, it's looking great, guys. I'm proud of you. Good work. The final step would be get it wet again. And what we got to do is scrape off the remaining pieces of paper and the glue residue.
Right.
Using that same solution. And then we really get into it with buckets of water, maybe a grill scrubber.
Okay.
Not gonna hurt the plaster at all? Just right down?
Now just scrub it down, keep rinsing it off.
Just like that?
There you go. Yeah, don't be afraid to really scrub it. Loosen up that glue. You don't want to put a coat of paint on over the glue. When the glue finally dries again, it'll wrinkle the paint. And then you'll be back to square one.
Well, what do you think, Coach?
I think you guys did a great job today. The wall looks really good after a lot of scraping and scrubbing.
Yeah, definitely a lot of scraping, but we appreciate the tips and the help you gave us as well.
You're welcome.
So Tom, having a Martha moment?
Kind of, Steve. I'm just playing with a hot melt glue gun here, but these are great for tacking things, but the glue has no holding power. It doesn't have a lot of strength to it.
So you got something new and improved?
I do. I have a polyurethane-based hot melt glue.
Polyurethane glues have been around for a while.
Right, and they have great holding power. But the way that you apply this glue is different. This actually goes into this heating element, which attaches to this trigger, which goes on the base, which heats up the glue.
So what's the advantage?
Well, you have the strength of the polyurethane and the fast set time of the hot melt.
Let's see it go on.
Okay. Now that tells me that the glue is ready. Remove it. Take the cap off. Hold that for me, please. Right on the end grain, a little bit of glue.
Just one side of the joint?
One side of the joint. Push it in place.
Now why the gloves?
Because if you get it on you, it'll burn you. And also, polyurethane glues are very hard to get off of your skin.
Now, I noticed you got a red and a yellow as well as a green cap. What does that indicate?
Right, that indicates the set time. There's 30 seconds, 60 seconds, and 75 seconds. So if you have a piece that's really complicated, you may want the long set time.
Waterproof?
It is waterproof, yep.
And how much is something like this?
This gun goes for about $100.
Wow. I think this shows a lot of promise.
I do too.
Ready to pick it up?
We'll give it a shot. Try doing that with some other type of glue.
That is great, Tom. Thank you.
Thank you, Steve.
Now don't tell me, what is it, some sort of ping pong paddle for the corner shots?
Nice try, Richard. Yeah. You think you're right? No.
No.
You're wrong. You're always wrong.
We can tell what you made in shop class.
Mostly ashtrays, 3 grooves and everything.
Came out quick, though. So remember, folks, this is a show that thrives on your questions. Anything you want to know about your old house, whether it's 2 weeks old or 200 years old, ask one of these characters. So until next time, I'm Steve Thomas.
I'm Richard Thuy.
I'm Roger Cook.
And I'm Tom Silva.
For Ask This Old House. Now, it's good to see that you guys stick together. Email your questions to our online address, asktoh@pbs.org, or write to us, care of This Old House Magazine, 1185 Avenue of the Americas, New York, New York, 10036. And thanks. So unless that's a perfect 45, it's not going to work.
Okay.
Richard, Man, you're just hacking away at it. You got to make that
I
cut
know.
really flat.
You gotta keep it
That's the
low.
point of
I know.
contact.
What's going on back here anyway?
Well, I'm trying to teach a landscaper and a plumber how to make an inside corner in crown molding.
Well, maybe I can help.
Maybe you can.
Let's take a look at this.
Welcome back to the Loft here at Ask This Old House, where we take on all your questions about taking care of your old house, whether it's 2 weeks old or 200 years old. These guys can help, believe it or not.
Yeah, this is, you're not even close, Roger. I mean, you're just so far off. I think what these guys need to do is, let's take a look at a scene we shot on this the other day. Well, they said a house on the hill with green shutters. Boy, what a hill. I gotta chalk these tires. I don't want this truck rolling away from us. Good morning. How are you today?
Good. Good morning.
Tom Silva, Ask This Old House.
Hi, I'm Sheila.
Hi, Sheila. Nice to meet you.
It's nice to meet you. This is my sister Karen.
Hi, Karen.
Hi, Tom.
How
Nice
are
to
you?
meet you. Good. How are you?
Cold out there. Now, I got your email. One of you ladies is a school teacher.
I am.
You are. And Karen, you are
Payroll.
payroll. One of those jobs people love you and hate you.
Exactly.
Well, this is really nice. I love
Right.
the floor plan. It's nice and open.
Thank you.
New house.
Yep. Just about 6 years old.
You've been here since day one?
Yep.
Yep.
Bought it new?
Yep.
Very nice.
Would you like a cup of coffee?
Ooh, absolutely.
Now, it's time for What Is It?
Gentlemen, you will never guess what this is. Richard,
Sure, I will. I mean, I've had these before.
you've had one of everything before,
Right.
Richard.
This in the toolbox. You want to draw a circle. You go like this here.
Yeah.
And you can go like this, and you can make it any size. Any size. You know what I mean? And the nice thing is, it's portable.
Yeah.
You know.
I wouldn't want to trust your circles.
Yeah.
Right. Well, I might.
Back to geometry, Richard.
What do you think?
I know exactly what it is. Exactly. This is, we work outside on a hot day in the summertime, so lots of times the sun gets in your eyes. And we always have duct tape, but you don't always have a hat.
Yeah.
If you just duct tape this to your
Wow.
Yeah.
What if duct tape doesn't hold? Could you hot glue gun it?
Well, you could,
I
but
think
no,
you could
duct tape.
epoxy
Duct tape
You
works.
know how close you are? You know how we wear our hats now? You know, the modern way?
Yeah.
Well, what if you're facing into the sun?
Yeah.
Then you got to glue this on the front.
Right.
You're good to go.
So whether
Not
you're-
going to glue it on your forehead.
Why not?
No?
Look at. There's plenty of floor here.
All right, for a mere 69 cents, you can have a pour spout for your paint can.
Isn't that special?
Bada boom.
All right, I got one right here. Now, you guys don't have a clue. It's plastic, it's flexible, it's got some nice little teeth on it, it's got a little hole up at the top.
I know exactly what it is.
You do?
Yeah.
You don't have a
You know the folks that live in the Arctic?
Both of them?
The Inuit, the Eskimos.
Yeah.
This is for an Eskimo on the go. It's for saving weight on a dog sled, where every ounce counts. Now, suppose you get in a blizzard and you need to make yourself an igloo in a hurry.
yeah.
You whip this sucker out, and you can cut snow blocks real quick with that.
real quick.
Yeah.
All
That's
day
funny.
long.
So I've been really using it for the wrong thing then.
Yes, you have.
These used to be illegal. You get something stuck in your throat.
Yeah.
The Heimlich maneuver is like so cumbersome. It's so awful. What you do is you just drop this down, hook on, and the key is to pull it up clean without twisting.
Thank you, Richard. I appreciate that.
Unbelievable.
Bad.
I don't use it that much, but it's
You
good
have
to
to
have.
understand, in the wintertime, I plow snow for a living, so I have to get an accurate reading of how much we've plowed so I can charge them. We charge by
What's
the
the matter
inch.
with the tape measure?
Won't go down through the snow. It gets stuck all the time, and I might lose some money. So I take and
Yeah.
stick this in. Every half-inch registers. I know exactly how much to charge them.
Well, I'm really surprised you didn't get this, Richard.
Really?
Being a plumber.
Yeah.
This is a drain cleaner. Ah. All right. You take it, put it down
Well, I
the
almost
sink.
got it.
Yeah. Down the sink, through the drain, into the trap. Give it a little twist, and cleans it.
Oh.
See?
You got a bad drain, man.
So you can pull out wedding rings with that?
Whatever. Whatever. You can hook it. You can have it.
Can I keep this? Okay, 409, 413, 413. $413. This must be it. Hello.
Hi there.
Richard Trethewey, Ask This Old House.
I'm Jennifer.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet
My
you
pleasure.
too. Come on in.
I found my way out here.
Yeah, we're kind of out here.
Great. How long you been here?
We've been here about 2.5 years.
Great.
We really like it.
Nice place.
Thanks.
Hi there.
Hi, Mike.
I'm Richard.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to see you. Now, what do you guys do?
I'm a technology project manager, a little consulting.
I'm also a consultant.
Consultants.
That's right.
Great. I love the living room. Nice open plan, vaulted ceiling. I bet you spend some time in there in the den, huh?
We do. It's nice.
Very relaxing, yeah.
Backs into a kitchen. How many bedrooms you got?
4.
4, yeah.
4. Any kids?
No kids yet.
Now, that means when people come to stay, they stay over.
That's right.
Right.
Plenty of room.
That's all
Now,
right.
you sent an email to me about a frozen pipe.
Yeah, that's right. Actually, we moved in the summer, but our first winter, as it does in Chicago, gets a little cold,
Yeah, I've heard that.
and came down one morning and the pipes were frozen up.
Okay, so it's a half bath, toilet, lavatory. Oh man, you can see all the walls open, the pipes are all on the outside wall. So have you got a full basement underneath this?
Yeah, that's right.
All right, let's take a peek down there.
Okay.
Michael, I am jealous. Look at this basement. I'm jealous of anybody that can be this organized.
Give credit to my wife. Here's where it comes down.
That bathroom's right above us here, yep.
Yeah, that's
You were
right.
kidding on the outside wall. Here's that foundation. You got a step stool or,
Yeah, I got a ladder and probably need a light.
okay. I would kill for a light, that would be great.
Plug in.
Outlet right there, good. All right, let's see what you got. All right, so here's our hot and cold pipe right here, hot and cold.
Yeah.
Look at this is the outside wall. There's not any insulation out there. And this right here, what is this? This is the main electrical. Look, this is outside. You can actually feel. Michael, get up here. Feel how cold it is. That big pipe is the electrical. Feel it?
Ah, a good breeze coming through there.
It's a 45-degree day outside today. Feel the air?
Pretty good breeze in there.
Right. Imagine a 20-degree day. So what we're going to do is seal up that hole on the outside of your building. Then we're going to insulate outboard of the pipe, and then we want to insulate the pipe too.
No wonder it froze.
Let me run to the truck.
All right.
Okay, give that plenty of a shake. Have you ever used this foam before?
Yeah, I sealed a mouse hole in the garage once.
All right, so work your way up in there.
All right.
Your hands are smaller than
Gonna
mine.
be a trick.
Yeah. What you want to do is get the heel of the can facing up. It'll work better.
Got it.
And then just give it a little bit of a squirt. You don't want to put too much in because it expands. Go for it. Push it right in. All right, go. Work it back and forth in the whole box there.
Yeah. Well, you weren't kidding about expanding.
I know. Work the nozzle up on the far side of the conduit in the upper right-hand corner.
Got it.
Because that's the closest to the water pipe if you can get in there.
Should I be pushing it in with my fingers or?
Not unless you want to have permanent gloves. Okay, so that seals the hole, and now we want to insulate the pipe.
Right.
I'll be back. Now what you're looking at is foam pipe insulation. Comes in about 6-foot lengths in a variety of sizes. This is for 1/2-inch copper.
So that'll fit what I've got here.
Right. And it's already pre-split, and it has this adhesive strip. So once we get it where we want it in place, we'll pull those strips and that'll seal it up tight.
Right.
All right, so it cuts pretty easily with a razor knife. Let's do about a 3-inch piece because I know I need one.
Is this all I'm going to need to keep them from freezing?
Yeah, and as long as it's very dense and as long as it's installed correctly with no gaps, you'll be fine. Okay, let me start with this one.
All right.
Okay, I'll get this one up in here. Split it. I'll cut it at a mitered 45. There we go.
That fits snug.
And now we go with this one. Now, we really want to be sure to get every bit covered and not to compress the insulation because any void leaves a place where the pipe could freeze.
So once we're done kind of covering up the all the exposed copper with this foam, how much should I be thinking about insulating the naked wall behind there?
You can't do it enough. So this entire rim joist, you should get some batt insulation and just fluff it in there, not compressing it,
Right.
just to break that air coming through the wood.
Right. Okay.
Just pull the cellophane, perfect, and just squeeze them together so they seal up nice.
Yep, yep.
Great.
Okay.
Now, on a couple of those joints that are really in peril, right near where the cold air's coming in. I want you to use this tape. See it? It's a double stick tape on this side, so peel it away and wrap this around the joints where they butt together, okay?
I can pull it all off before I
Absolutely.
get up in
Yeah,
there.
just don't stick yourself with it. Great, and let's really seal that up tight.
No problem. That's going around real nice. Kind of has the same feel as the other.
Yeah, it's the same manufacturer. All right. Well, I think this is where the problem was, Mike, but let's do what we can with those pipes upstairs since the wall is open.
Yeah.
Come on. Good, just pull that on, and when you like it, pull the tapes. Beauty.
That's great.
All right, and pull the tape on the other side over here, if you can.
Yeah.
I think that one's good to go.
It's definitely snug in there.
Okay, just pull it tight. Make sure it seals up. Beauty.
Yeah, we're all the way down.
Now, I would still put some bat-type insulation in there behind those pipes, you know, because I can't believe they didn't do it originally. But I think we solved it.
I feel better, thanks.
You might sleep better at night, huh?
I can already feel the warmth.
Amazing, Richard. That little hole where the electric pipe went through the outside wall froze those pipes?
Yeah, but that wasn't that small of a hole. I mean, I've seen cases where a hole the size of a pencil was enough to freeze a copper water pipe.
Wow.
And this is what you meant by cutting the insulation on a 45 so that you could cover that 90-degree angle.
Nice tight butt joint, and then tape that up. It'll never freeze.
Nice seal.
Yeah.
Three-step solution
On
in
this one, yeah.
case. Foam the penetration through the outside wall.
Yeah.
Insulate the pipe itself, and then add some fiberglass bad insulation along the rim joist. Seems like belts, suspenders, and buttons.
I mean, you could look at it that way. We could probably have gotten away with 2 out of 3, but it made more sense to do all 3 while we were there.
Sure, I agree.
And I bet you sleep at night, right?
Absolutely.
But Richard, this is what I have at my house. Electric tape on my water pipe, and I simply plug it
Very
in.
common.
Yeah, but what do you do if the electricity goes out? The heat tape is...
That's one
Not gonna
issue.
work.
If somebody unplugs it inadvertently. The other thing, there's a cost to this. This is like running an 80-watt light bulb, so you're going to pay for it ongoing through the winter. It doesn't. You pay one time for the insulation.
So remember, folks, this show thrives on your questions. Send them in. We'll do our best to get to them. Until next time, I'm Steve Thomas.
I'm Roger Cook.
I'm Rich Thrui.
I'm Tom Silva.
For Ask This Old House. So what do I get?
You can only get anything. These are going to Roger's house to get rid of that heat tape. Right there. Go.
Email your questions to our online address, asktoh@pbs.org, or write to us, care of This Old House Magazine, 1185 Avenue of the Americas, New York, New York, 10036. And thanks. Roger! Roger! Boy, you make a lot of noise!
Where's your hearing protection, Steve?
I didn't pack any, Roger. I guess I'll just have to use these.
Well, you're in luck today. We have an expert coming in to tell us how to protect our hearing from loud noises.
What was that?
Huh?
Hey, who's making all the noise in here?
Where's your hearing protection?
No, I don't need any because I'm going to be out of here before you ever turn that back on again.
Where are you headed?
Chasing a different story about another type of grinder, a garbage disposer. Relatively new house, 4 years old, disposer's already gone.
Richard to the rescue. Have a look.
Well, this is a neat little subdivision. I mean, come to think of it, it's not so little though. I mean, 200 or 300 of these houses, and to my eye, they look pretty similar. I might have some trouble finding my house the first couple of weeks I lived here. Now, we were summoned here by email from a family with a disposer problem. When I think about disposers, I think of one of two things. You know, a problem with the plumbing side, a stoppage or something like that, or with the unit itself, either a jammed disposer or inoperable. But we'll see. Now, 2101, here we are. Hello, I'm Richard Trethewey, Ask This House.
Oh, hi, I'm Dave Skeen. It's great to have you guys here. Thanks so much for
Glad
coming.
to be here.
This is my wife, Amy.
Hi, Amy.
My daughter, Madeline.
How are you? Nice to see you.
meet you. I'm Amy.
Oh, look at her.
This is
Hi,
Madeline.
Madeline. How are you? How old is she?
She's 20 months old.
20 months. Those rosy cheeks.
Let me take your coat.
Thank heavens for little girls. How long you guys been here?
About 2.5 years.
Yeah. Come in. Let me show you the
The
house.
house is about 3 years old. We've been here for about 2.5 years.
Very comfortable.
Yeah, well, we got the fire going. Kind of makes it cozy.
Nice on a cold Chicago winter morning.
Yeah.
Look at
A
this.
little bit of rain.
What a fabulous view.
We definitely love the view. We love this room. Lots
Yeah.
of windows.
A bit of a meadow and a river there. Where's Chicago from here?
Chicago's down that way, southeast.
way?
Yeah,
Right.
about 40 miles or so.
Now, how many bedrooms have you got?
Got 4 bedrooms, 2.5 baths, so it's a nice, comfortable home.
Wow, I could actually stay over then if I don't
Plenty of room.
do
You're
well with this
welcome to
repair,
it.
huh?
That's right, that's right. You're welcome to
We'll
it.
hold you hostage.
Right into
That's
a
right.
sort of a little breakfast area.
Right.
And I like your kitchen, the dark cabinets.
Yeah, thanks very much. Yeah, in the tile, we like that a lot too. It's a big selling point.
So what has been happening here? Tell me about this.
Well,
your history.
shortly after we moved in, the garbage disposal just kind of stopped working. The motor, you hear the sound of the motor, but the blades don't turn, and well,
Yeah.
it doesn't get rid of the food. So
Where's the switch? Is this one of these switches here?
it's the right one there.
Okay, let's try and see what. Oh yeah. Okay, so that could be jammed.
Yeah, we've tried to unjam it, and
What do you use? A broomstick?
we've stuck some wooden back end of a plunger,
Yeah.
things like that
Yeah.
down there, make sure. And we can get it started if we sort of hand crank it. If I can just, we have this this thing. If you just,
Oh yeah, the wrench. Okay,
just,
so that's an Allen wrench, and that's designed to fit up underneath and be able to move the shaft.
right, and that
You
was
wanna try that?
in the instruction book, but you know it's not convenient.
Let me get some of that stuff out of your way.
Thanks. Go.
Now that noise you hear, that's sort of that's the motor overheating, and if it goes too much, you can actually pop the reset button and have to let the thing sit.
Yeah, if you twist
is that
this
clear?
enough.
All right, let me know when you're clear there.
Yeah, I mean I think that should do it.
All right. Now, so that means that it's got to be that the motor is gone. I think we're gonna have to pull the unit. You up for that?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay.
So what's involved in getting this thing out of here, Richard?
Well, first step is to be sure we don't get electrocuted. We want to turn the electrical power off. I want to tape the switch so nobody turns it on by chance. Next, the electrical connection works its way up into here. So there's a little cover I have to pull.
Okay.
That's a Phillips screw on this one. Okay. Dave, would you pass me the electrical tester on the countertop?
Sure.
Will you?
Yeah, here you
Let's
go.
do belt and suspenders. We're gonna just be absolutely double sure that there's no power there. If there was,
So how do you know if there's any voltage going
well,
through
if
this?
there was voltage, a red bar would drop up right here. It says we're 120, and we know there isn't, so we're good.
Okay.
Do you have a flat blade screwdriver there, Dave?
Sure. Here.
We just gotta get this electrical conduit off.
So a plumber has to be a little bit of an electrician.
Yeah, more and more. I gotta keep those tools around.
Uh-huh.
That's the last guy. Now this armored cable is really important because it acts as the ground on this type of wiring. So we want to put it back the very same way. Now we're ready to drop the disposer. Now the way this works is that there are 2 bolts here with a gasket I need to break. Now there's a screwdriver slot, but it's too long to put a regular screwdriver. So I'm going to use a 3/8 open end wrench. Loosen
You
those
really have to have a
2.
little bit of everything here.
Yeah, and you got to be a contortionist. All right, so with the nuts out, this yoke comes off and the gasket is in there. Let me just turn this. So now we're clear to drop disposer. Now this has a locking ring up top, but you just got to give a little bit of persuasion counterclockwise. And I'm going to hold up the unit. See that way? Now it'll drop right into my hands. There we go. Let's see what we got here. First off, this is not exactly a high-end disposer to begin with. You know, really, it's a builder's model.
Is that like a budget model?
Yeah, I mean, it's lightweight, not much insulation. Here's the connection we broke down below for the drain. This is the gasket that makes the disposer watertight to the underside of the sink. Let me peel this off. And you can see down in here, I mean, look at that. It's all rusted. See how much rust it's bound up there.
Mm-hmm. So is it something you can fix, or?
Well, there's no really replacement parts available for up here. The motor is permanently sealed. I think, and really the cost of my time or anybody's time, it says that it's time to replace it.
Okay.
All right, is there an appliance store around here anywhere?
There is, yeah. There are a couple nearby we can go to.
Great, let's go take a drive. Well, you are lucky to have this complete of a showroom for appliances right around the corner. We don't see them around our way enough.
Yeah, they've pretty much got everything.
Now, here's the disposers here. Now, this is similar to what you've got. The basic builder model, not a lot of insulation. Let's see if I can find a sales guy here.
Hello.
Hey, how are you? I'm Richard, the plumber.
Richard.
And this
Hi.
is Dave, our homeowner.
Dave, nice to meet you.
Can you take us through the choices for disposers?
Absolutely, yes. Do you have Dave, do you have a continuous feed or a batch feed, meaning a switch on the wall?
I've got a switch on the wall.
Okay, so you have a continuous feed.
Okay.
Everything that we have on display here pretty much is continuous feed disposal. And what happens is they vary in size. As you can see in motor size, we start at a 1/3 horse to a 1/2 horse in both of these sizes.
So that's the amount of power to grind the food.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And then we go up to a 3/4 horse and then a 1 horse motor. And as you can see, they also get added insulation to aid in the quietness. Right.
Any of them have that auto-reversing thing?
Yeah, actually this one has that feature. These two.
What is that? What's auto reverse do?
Auto reverse is if we have the soil or the product inside the disposal and it grinds and it locks up, it will automatically go in reverse and unlock itself automatically.
You don't need to turn it on and off?
You don't have to put the broom handle in there or anything like that. It won't have to, does it automatically.
How about price point? What do you got? What's the range?
Well, price point, they range from like $69 at this piece. And then you go up to like $119. And then this one's $129, and then $159, and then $259.
Okay. So what do you recommend?
I would recommend this piece, the 3/4 horse. It's good size.
Mm-hmm.
It's got good insulation to help aid in the quietness. It also has an added feature where it's stainless steel on the inside, so it'll prevent any corrosion if you
The
have
one we have
anything.
is all corroded.
Oh,
yeah.
rusted
So
out.
this will help you in that scenario. And then that auto reverse anti-jam feature.
All right, what do you think? 250 okay?
Sounds like a winner to me.
You got one in
Let's do
stock?
it.
Absolutely.
All right, let's take it.
Okay.
Okay, looks like they shipped everything. Our first step is to install this, but I have to get the old one out of the existing sink first. So I got to dive under there. It's 3 screws. Now these screws push up against the underside of the sink. Let me just loosen them. There's one. There's 2. And there's 3. Okay, with them loosened, now there's a locking ring that I need to pry down. There it is. And now the whole piece will disassemble. 1, 2, 3. Now that'll pop right up. And then there's the old putty and gasket we just want to clean up.
So what is this stuff exactly?
This is called plumber's putty, and it really makes the best gasket between the disposer and the sink. I'm going to put this right here. There we go. And then I want to just push it down and squeeze it out. All right, now we just put the parts back in the opposite order that we took them apart. Now, David, I want you to push down against me, okay?
Okay.
While I put this ring on. Push now. There we go, clip and 3 screws. 1, All right, so that putty should be squeezing that up there, David.
Yeah, it really is. I tell you what, you're making this look pretty easy.
Well, you'll be able to do one yourself, you know? See one, do one, teach one.
Let's not get carried away.
Now just clean up that putty, that excess putty, and put it back in the jar, okay?
All right.
We don't throw away anything.
I think I can handle that.
All right, now it's time to hook it up again. So I want to start by putting in this cable connector for the electrical from the old disposer. All right, and it's a lot easier to make the electrical connection down here before we mount it to the sink. It only took me about 10 years to figure this out. Now this is not rocket science, David. I'm going to fish the 2 wires in, pull them through, then make the armored cable here and dog it down. Now this is an important connection because it's the ground and it makes the electricity safe. Now for wires coming out of the unit, we've got a black and a white. Coming out of the wall, we have a blue and a white. Now white is always common, so that they'll go together. And this wire coming out of the wall could be blue, could be black, could be red. That's the hot. White to white and black and blue together. To make the connection, I'm going to go and want to twist these clockwise. Let me get it started. There, with a good stout pair of pliers. Now the wire nut wants to also go clockwise. And as you tighten it, it makes a good tight connection.
Oh, that's a great tip. Electricity definitely makes me nervous. These tips really help.
Yeah, you got to be careful. So with those connections made, we tuck them in here. There's a little trap door that goes back over. We tighten it up. And we just got to mount it and connect the drain. Now we position the disposer up there against there, at the bottom.
Now, this is all done by feel, isn't it? You can't really see up in there.
Yeah, I line up the gasket, and then there's a locking ring that I push this way. And then I want to really snug it up so it doesn't vibrate off. So I put a screwdriver here, snug it the rest of the way. Done. Now this is the tail piece for the disposer. It has this rubber gasket, it has to be mounted. And this comes in different lengths. If it was too short, you need a longer one, or too long, you have to cut it. But we lined up pretty good here. There we go. Make up this connection at the bottom. And then the last connection is this flange that you hook at the bottom, and then there's a bolt at the top, and you dog it down, and you got a tight connection. All right, that one's on. Let's run some water and give it a test.
All right.
So let's tape. Yeah, go.
Here we go.
Hey,
nice.
Isn't that great?
So quiet. It's so much
Let's
quieter
get some food
too.
down there. Let's try it.
All right.
Garrett. There we go. Wow, this is great. It's
See?
quiet and it works.
See how handy I am, Amy?
Yeah. Richard, thank you so much. That was amazing. Thank you.
You know, there's like 250 more houses in the subdivision. I think maybe I should put a sign out front, probably fix all theirs too. They all got the builder special.
Oh, you want to go into a little sidelight business
I
here?
think I could do. You think I'm ready
Dave
for it now?
Disposers.
Absolutely.
Well, I don't know. Maybe it'll have to pay the mortgage.
Yeah, I hope so. I need it.
Well, we're going to head back.
Okay, thank you so much.
Bye,
We
Maddie.
really, really appreciate
Bye-bye.
it.
Thanks a lot,
This is
Richard.
great.
See ya.
We'll see you later.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
And now, it's time for What Is It?
All right, you are never, ever, ever gonna guess this one, boys. I don't care if we're here all day.
come on.
You'll never get it.
Come on.
We're home early.
Simple,
guys.
simple.
You're going to see
Yeah.
this on The Sopranos next year.
Yeah.
Remember the old brass knuckles, how cumbersome they
Yeah.
were? Put this in your pocket, you now got a stainless steel thumb. You just walk up to the guy, give him a shot right in the ribs.
Oh, you were so violent, Roger.
Not. Got to be prepared.
A mean landscaper.
That's right.
All right.
Pay the bills.
I haven't seen one of these in years. This is, I'm surprised you guys don't remember history.
Yeah.
Brother had one.
You had one, right?
No, my dad did. It
Yeah.
was the front ornament on an Edsel. I mean,
no,
this
it
is the
wasn't.
last year, 59, I think it was.
Yeah.
They only made like 6 of them. So I don't know how the heck you got
No wonder they only made 6.
I give you credit for being inventive.
inventive. Yeah.
Yeah. The Italian government is very particular about the size of pasta. So they issue one of these to every shop and factory that produces pasta to make sure that each piece of pasta is the regulation size. This would be cannelloni and this would be capellini di pasta. That's what it's for.
Sort of a pastometer.
A pestometer, exactly.
Actually, what this is a drywall lift. You take a heavy sheet of drywall.
He doesn't know what it is, does he?
Yes, I do. Heavy sheet of drywall. This goes on the floor. You push this down with your toe. The sheet rests on that.
Yeah.
And you simply press it. It lifts
Oh,
it
cool.
up nice and tight, and you drive your screws in.
Left or right foot work?
Left or right works either
Yeah,
way.
great.
It's also a rasp to clean off that cut edge. Makes it nice and straight.
But what are the holes for, Tom?
It keeps it light. It fits right in your nail pouch. Doesn't take up a lot of space. The guys carries this around all day. They get heavy.
I think it's a pestometer.
What did that register?
A little over 92 decibels.
I'm here with Dr. Mark Stevenson, a research audiologist from the National Institute for Occupational Safety and Health. Now, that many decibels, is that damaging?
Yes, anything over 85 decibels can cause permanent hearing loss.
And how long exposure do you need at that rate?
Well, for 92 decibels, between 3-4 hours would be considered risky.
Well, I want to try another piece of equipment I use all the time, Mark, and that's a chainsaw. What was that up to?
That was 107 decibels.
In exposure time?
Well, you wouldn't want to be exposed to that at all unless you were wearing hearing protectors.
Is that right?
Absolutely.
One more tool I use a lot. What was that?
And that was just under 100 decibels.
So that's dangerous too.
That's dangerous too.
Now, is power equipment the only source of things that can cause hearing problems?
Well, actually, just about any power tool that you use in the workshop produces enough noise to cause permanent hearing loss. Even a hammer can be loud enough to cause permanent hearing loss.
Well, Tommy's waiting for us up in the loft. Let's go out and check out some of his power tools.
Okay?
Go ahead.
Okay, Mark, what did that measure?
That was about 106 decibels.
Well, that sounds high.
Well, that's high enough to cause permanent hearing loss over time.
Yeah, but when you say permanent, it's going to come back eventually.
Well, eventually, it will not come back. Permanent means just that.
Kind of scary. All right. Well, I drive nails a lot with a hammer. This can't be too bad. Are you ready to measure this one?
Let's find out.
All right.
That was 131 decibels.
That was higher.
Yes, it was.
But that can't be as bad as like a chainsaw, which is a continuous noise. That's sort of intermittent.
Well, actually, that type of noise is called an impulsive sound. And impulsive sounds are more dangerous than continuous type sounds.
Why is that?
It has to do with the way the ear processes impulse sounds that makes them so dangerous.
Well, talk about impulse. I've got an air gun. We use these a lot. Let's measure this.
Okay.
You ready?
Sure.
Yeah, that's not too bad.
Well, that was 125 decibels.
Wow. That really surprises me. You know, one of the reasons why I don't like wearing these, though, you can never find one that really fits right. They all feel uncomfortable. Some of them are too tight. They're too hot. I mean, now, I'm going to wear these, right? For example, are these as good as something that I would put in my ear?
Well, actually, the best hearing protector is the one that's worn. There are over 300 different hearing protectors out there, and some will be comfortable for one person and uncomfortable for another, just like shoes.
Yeah.
So the important thing is to try different hearing protectors and find one that's comfortable and convenient for you to use and wear it whenever you're using power tools.
Yeah, well, is there a trick to putting these earplugs in your ear?
Good question.
You never keep them in.
Well, actually, it's very important to read the instructions that are on the package. Follow the manufacturer's instructions for fitting them. Not only will they work better, but they're more likely to be comfortable.
All right, well, I'm a woodworker. And if I find that if I'm wearing earmuffs or earplugs and I have them in so tight that I can't hear anything, and I'm using my saw and someone comes up and says something to me and I couldn't hear them, so now they yell at me and now I'm startled. I could jerk the saw, I could cut myself, I could get hurt. So why wear them?
Well, if you don't wear them, you will get a hearing loss, and then you won't hear them anyway.
Yeah.
But if it's important for you to be able to hear other people talking,
Well, I think it is.
try something like this.
All right.
Now,
Oh,
these
what good
have,
are these? I can hear you as clear as a bell.
Right, right. These have a built-in microphone, and that microphone lets you hear me while I'm talking to you.
Yeah, well, where's the noise protection?
Well, those microphones are designed so that they cut out whenever the noise reaches a hazardous level,
Oh, yeah?
and then the earmuffs work to protect your hearing.
Well, I'm going to try my drill. Not
Sure.
that I doubt you, Mark, but let me try it. They do work. They got to be expensive.
Oh, they're so high tech. Those got to be big bucks.
Well, these run about $200.
Yeah. Well,
A lot less than a hearing aid.
Less than a hearing aid.
well, there's a lot to think about here, Mark. And I guess we ought to start wearing our ear protection.
Just remember, the best hearing protector is the one that's worn.
Okay, Mark. Thanks a lot.
My pleasure.
Well, there is no shortage of mail.
It's unbelievable.
You got anything good?
I like this one. Our home's about a year old. Last week I noticed dark, wet spots on the attic walls. Further investigation, I have puddles on the attic floor and the insulation's totally soaked. My contractor tells me this is normal. I don't know if I believe him. What do I do?
I think you find a new contractor.
I don't know.
Well, here's one for Tom. Hey, Tom.
Yeah, what's up?
So remember that story you did a couple of weeks ago about vermin proofing under a deck?
Yeah, under a side porch. I put a screen up, I cut a hole in it, put a one-way gate in it, so if there was a critter under there, he could get out but couldn't get back in.
So Phil from South Dakota writes, I couldn't believe all the extra work to let the critter escape from under the porch. So where's it supposed to go? To the neighbor's house? I just shoot him, poison him, or club him. That's life in the real world.
That's a little hard, Phil. I don't think it would play around here. Nice try.
So folks, it doesn't really matter how wacky your question is. Send it in and we'll try to get to it. Until next time, I'm Steve Thomas.
I'm Rich Trethewey.
I'm Tom Silva.
And I'm Roger Cook.
For Ask This Old House. Here's one for you, Roger. Here's a kid who wants to put a putting green. Email your questions to our online address, asktoh@pbs.org, or write to us, care of This Old House magazine, 1185 Avenue of the Americas, New York, New York, 10036. And thanks.
What are you doing? What are you doing?
Unbelievable. Good morning, I'm Steve Thomas, and welcome once again to the loft here at Ask This Old House, where grown men, experts, stand by ready to answer your questions. But gentlemen, I have a question for you. What is a Dutchman?
A Dutchman. I mean, generally, they're a relaxed people. They like cheese, tulips, and wooden shoes.
Yeah, okay.
Richard, a Dutchman is a specialized knot we use in a rope to pull a tree over with.
Is that true?
Absolutely.
Well, in my trade, a Dutchman is a patch in a piece of wood. Basically, Dutch people are frugal or thrifty, and they don't like to throw any wood away if it's damaged, so thus they'll patch it.
Huh. You think you know what a Dutchman is? Join the discussion by sending us an email. Meanwhile, there's no confusion about how Tommy puts a Dutchman in as he visits a home near Chicago. Have a look.
Plenty of Dutch in Chicago.
Well, here we are in Skokie, Illinois, in a suburb north of Chicago, right near the Evanston border. And we got an email from a viewer that said that they bought an older house and they replaced the front door. When they did, it was left with an ugly patch on the jamb, and they ended the letter with saying they were stumped in Skokie. Let's see what this is all about.
Good morning. We've been expecting you.
Good morning, Tom Silva. Ask this old house.
Catherine Katauskas.
Hi,
nice
Catherine.
to meet you.
Nice
Come
to
on
meet
in.
you.
Come on in out of the cold.
Oh, it's definitely warmer in here, I can tell you that.
Definitely. This is my husband, Daryl.
I know you, Daryl. Stumped in Skokie?
I'm stumped.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Well, tell me a little bit about your house.
Sure.
We moved in a little over a year ago, and the walls that are all blue used to be army green.
Ooh.
And I didn't want to live in an army tent, so we painted.
Yep.
Well, it looks great.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We have a little dining room in here.
Very nice, very nice.
Got another kitchen in here.
Let's take a look. Boy, it is in great shape.
Thank you.
Thank you. We put a lot
Paint
of
and
work.
paper was the way to go.
Yes.
Yeah.
What do we see down here? I see you have some critters.
We have 2 cats.
Couple of critters.
Where are they?
They hide when the doorbell rings.
That's typical of cats.
Definitely.
So tell me, what's the problem?
Well, let me show you. It's right through here. It's actually
All right.
the front door. So.
You lead the way.
All right. Okay. Tom, one of the first things we did when we bought the house was we replaced the old storm door with this new one.
Well, this is a nice new storm door, Daryl.
Thank you. And the old one had a different hardware configuration, and it had a closer right in the middle there, and you can see where the remnants of the patches.
I sure can. So what is it that you want to do?
Well, my dad, who's a contractor, recommended replacing the entire door jamb.
Mm-hmm. Well, you could do that, but it's a bit drastic. I think we
Okay.
could just make a nice patch here.
Okay, that'll work.
Now, due to the cold, I'm wondering if you have any plastic. We could make a nice tent out there, make an airlock, and we can operate under that.
Sure, we can do that.
All right, come on in, we'll find the plastic.
Okay.
Well, we probably should be doing this work in April, Daryl. What do you think the temperature is anyway?
I think it's a whole 1 degree, Tom.
Well, this airlock will help. Let's go inside where it's warm.
Definitely.
Okay, Daryl, let's take a look at this, see what we got to do.
Okay.
Well, I can definitely tell that someone's tried to patch this before. And I see some nails here. What I'm going to do, Daryl, is I'm going to try to cut a patch that's going to fit very precisely in here.
Okay.
But before I make a cut, I want to make sure there's no nails or screws in here because I'm going to do it with a router or a chisel, or maybe even both.
Okay.
And if it hits any metal, it's going to ruin the blade or the chisel.
Got a problem.
Yeah. Oh boy. Can you see in my kit there if I have a number 2 Phillips? I'm going to
Sure.
remove a screw here.
Okay. Here we go, Tom.
Great. I kind of wish I had a metal detector to see if there's any nails or anything down below here.
I have a stud sensor if that would help.
Well, let's give it a try, sure.
Okay, let me go grab it.
Okay. Well, it's a little ambiguous, Daryl, but it seems like it's showing something right in here. I'm going to try digging around in there.
Okay.
Yeah, there's one. Dig this one out of here. Boy, that'll do some damage on my bit.
Definitely.
Here's another one right here.
Yep.
Well, I think we're ready for the next step. These pieces of wood, Daryl, are going to help us guide the router for a straight cut.
Okay.
Okay, so we're going to tack them to the jamb, and this will make a guide for the router to go in.
I got you.
And cut us a nice straight line.
Okay. It's a pretty serious tool, Tom.
Yes, a router is a serious tool, and I've equipped this one with a collar to follow the pieces of wood that we've applied to the door jamb, and also a straight cutting router bit.
so the collar prevents it from going into the guide blocks.
Exactly right. Okay, Daryl, here's a sample of the piece of wood that we're going to use to patch the hole. I got it at the local lumber yard. It's a piece of poplar. It's 3 inches wide, and it's about 5/16 of an inch thick.
Okay.
What I need to do now is to set the depth of the router to make this right cut. Now, the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to take the router, I'm going to plunge it in till the router bit hits the casing.
I see.
All right. Now, I'm going to open this up, and you're going to slide that piece right in that little space. Now, I'm going to lock this down. Now, when you remove that, and I plunge this router, that added depth, that's just the right amount to remove the material. Now, and only now, for reasons of safety, do we plug in that router.
Okay.
Hey, Daryl, take a look.
Oh, wow.
Pretty good, huh?
Yeah.
Fine tuning with a chisel, and we're in business.
Great. So the router can't make a square corner, but it gets everything else up.
Sure it does. Okay, Daryl, want to pass me that piece, and I'll take that mat knife so I can mark the length.
Okay.
Thank you. Now, we'll cut it on the saw.
Okay. Tom, I noticed you didn't use a pencil to make that mark.
Right. When you're working in a fine spot like this, Daryl, a utility knife is much more accurate.
I see.
Let's take a look at what we have here. We have the original jam, and we have a second piece, which is the original casing to that jam. What I want to do is I want to make the patch also in 2 pieces, so it'll match what we see up here. Okay, I'll hold that there. I'll take a straight edge, line it up, and cut that with the utility knife.
So you're not going to saw that?
No, I don't have a rip saw, and the razor blade will work fine.
Okay.
Okay, Daryl, before we glue this in, let's check it to make sure that it fits.
Okay.
There's one piece, and here's the second piece. All right, that'll work. Pass me that glue.
All right. Here you go, Tom.
Now this is going to be painted, so I'm not really worrying about any waterproofing, but any good carpenter's glue will hold this. A couple of small finish nails, and that'll hold it till the glue dries. Well, that looks pretty good, Daryl. What do you think?
Looks great.
All right, I'm going to spray a primer on it, and later on you can put a couple of coats of paint on it, and you're in business.
All right.
Let's check out, see what Catherine has to say about it. Well, here we go, Catherine, the test. Take a look. What do you think?
I think that looks wonderful. You have no idea how long I've been looking at that hole.
Well, that's cool.
Thank
It's
you.
all ready.
Looks great.
Great, thank you.
Well, we consider you no longer stumped and Skokie.
Thanks, Tom.
I got to catch a plane.
Oh, great.
It's been a lot of fun. Thanks
Thank you
a
very
lot.
much.
Bye-bye.
And now, it's time for What Is It?
All right, gentlemen. What is it? High impact plastic. Taxi cab yellow. Adjustable struts right here. And this is the dead giveaway. Bungee cords.
I know what it is.
Oh, yeah. Sure.
I do.
Oh, yeah.
This is actually one of the parts in the series I don't have. You know, I have the bike rack, I have the ski rack.
Yeah.
This is actually the universal ball holder for your car. You know, you just come back. No, you just come back from the health club. You don't want the balls rolling around in the back of the car. Show me that football here.
Yeah.
So you just hook that thing on the back.
Richard, this is one of your
No,
best.
no, you
Oh,
hook
this
this
is
on
one
the
of your
back
best.
right here.
Yeah.
And then this thing just clips into the trunk of the car right here.
Goes outside or inside?
It goes right down. You got. Also, they have them for golf balls, ping pong, tennis. It's amazing.
Good.
I love going after you.
Oh, that's good.
This is actually a 3rd generation coffee cup caddy.
Yeah.
You guys have seen my truck, right? Nice
Oh,
and neat.
yeah, I've seen your truck.
Well, when I'm having lunch, I simply support this on the window, put my ham and cheese sandwich here, my cup, I can tie it down in case I go over a
That
bump,
explains
mustard
the-
relish,
That
napkin.
explains
I'm
the
good to
mess
go.
in your truck right there.
You don't go for that one.
Let me guess, it's yellow because it's contractor grade.
All right, you see these? These are adjustable. These are adjustable. I like to put them up in the high position. All right. Now, these bungee cords right here are actually chin straps. And you put this on your head. Like this. What are you laughing at? What do you hear? This is good. Notice I have the legs adjusted high.
Yeah.
I mount my 2 work lights on that, small ones,
Yeah.
and a battery mounts here,
Nice.
and I can work around in a dark spot, crawl spaces.
You've got courage. You've got courage to put that on.
Yeah,
I think he should have used his head protection a while ago because he's lost it.
So hand me that
man.
piece of plywood, Roger. Pretend this is a pitched roof. This is, I swear, this is for real. And see these 4 screws here?
Yeah.
Those are designed to give you traction on the shingles, okay? The legs adjust up and down for a different pitch. Now let's say you've got a can of paint
Or a sandwich.
or roof cement. You're gonna do a little patching or something.
Good.
That's what it's for.
Keeps them flying off the roof.
Oh, well, they are flying out of the stores, I can tell you that. You gotta have one.
Okay.
I think we better get too rich. What do you think?
All right, guys. This is a simple one. What is it?
I might have this one, I think.
Yeah, you got one of those too?
Oh, yeah. But this is a bullet you can load either way into the gun.
A mighty hunter that you are.
Way bullet.
Yeah.
It's a big
This
bullet.
is actually a roller that we use under slabs of granite to roll the heavy granite right into place. You need a bunch of them, but it works.
Nice try, Roger.
Yeah.
No, it's nice try. Never saw you use one. This is actually a magnet.
Big
One of
deal,
the
a
strongest
magnet.
magnets there are. It's actually called a cow magnet.
A cow magnet. It attracts cows.
No, not that way. A cow has 4 stomachs. All right. What the farmer does with this is takes this and jams it down the cow's throat.
Yeah, I bet he only does that once.
She swallows it, ends up in the first stomach. Now, any metal that the cow should eat over the years is collected by this magnet and saves the cow's life.
So like nails and barbed wire all hang right on that?
Right.
You gotta be kidding.
I'm not kidding.
You gotta be kidding. And that's where milk comes from.
And you heard it here first.
Well, here we are. The owner says that this development was built about 8 years ago, and since then 80% of the water heaters have leaked. Now that's a lot. So before something happens to his, he wants to do something about it. Hello, I'm
Hi.
Richard Trethewey from Ask
Hi,
This
Richard.
House.
I'm Elena.
Nice
Please
to meet
come
you.
in.
Thank you.
It's all a commotion.
This is Joe.
I'm Richard Trethewey. How are
Hi,
you?
Richard. Joe Pucciarelli. Nice to meet
Nice
you.
to see you.
Please.
Love your place.
Come on in.
Great. Nice and open plan here. Kitchen falls into a nice little dining room.
Why don't you come in and warm yourself by the fire?
Oh, I like this room. Nice family room. Oh, and a fireplace that doesn't need to have logs put on. That's
My
pretty
kind
good.
of fireplace.
That's right. No dirt, no grime. Well,
Yeah.
great.
Here,
Did
let
you
me
guys
take that.
build the house originally?
Yeah, we did. We built this house new. The proverbial, we built it up out of the mud.
Great. That's
It was
kinda
a great
fun, isn't it?
experience. You know, they always say you should build one new house in your life.
Just once?
I've done it once.
I like this room.
This is sort of the fun room in the house. It gives us a chance to sort of enjoy the sun and the outside without enduring 20-degree weather.
Right. Watch a sunset here. Who's
Yeah.
the gardener?
I am.
You are? Great.
Cure for cabin fever.
Now, we have to talk about water heaters, though.
Yeah, come on in.
Now, in your email, you said you were really nervous about the water heater leaking. What's the big deal?
You know, Richard, as I said to you, we built our house. This is one of the newer houses in the subdivision, or one of the oldest houses in the subdivision. And almost all of my neighbors have had their water heaters failed. And when they failed catastrophically. You've had these 20-foot puddles down in their basement. You know, my wife and I travel periodically.
That's usually when they fail.
Well, that's the problem. You know, it's the proverbial, I'm going to come back from vacation and find my house floating in the street because the water heater just, you know, popped out on me.
Well, let's see what we can do.
That'd be great.
Great.
Look at this place, neat and clean, not a speck of dust, just like my basement, Joe.
Yeah, not exactly.
I think I might need you to come over and get me organized. Wow.
It's right over here, Richard.
Okay, pretty straightforward water heater. 40-gallon, gas-fired. Yeah, shut off right here, that's perfect. What's that on the floor here? What are you doing?
That's a water sensor. What it does is when it detects water on the floor, it calls a central alarm company. In my last house, I had one of these, and what happened was the phone rang at 3 o'clock in the morning, and it was the alarm company telling me that my basement was flooding. And you know, I was home
Yeah.
and I was able to go
Right.
down and get everything out of the way and kind of control the mess.
Right. So why isn't that enough?
The problem is I travel a lot in my job. You know, my wife and I take vacations, and you know, the law of averages, this thing is going to go when I'm not home. And
Right.
by the time I call a security company,
Right.
a neighbor comes, I'm going to have a foot of water in the
And
basement.
full city water pressure coming in here can put some water into the basement.
Exactly.
Well, I have a device that takes that one step better, I think.
Okay.
It senses the water leaking in the basement, but also shuts the water off. Let me
That's
go
cool.
get it out of the truck and show it to you.
Cool.
All right, Joe, tell me what you think of this. There's a valve I'd like to install right here into the cold water feed going into the water heater.
Okay.
And it'll connect onto a sensor, a float really. Now the float's going to go down into this reservoir. Now the reservoir is going to be underneath the water heater.
Okay.
If the water heater leaked, the water level would rise and it would make that float go up and shut the water off.
Okay, so then even if it fails, all I'm going to get is a small puddle
That's
and not a
right.
catastrophic
That's
flood.
right, no floods.
That's great, Richard.
All right, now, first thing we've got to do is drain the water heater. Have you got a hose?
I sure do.
Great, why don't you grab it for me?
Okay.
Okay, when you hear the pump whine, it means we're almost to the end. Why don't you give that, kill the pump there. Okay, great. So what I've done is we've broken the gas connection. First you shut the gas off, and here's a union. Now we've cleaned up the cold water feed. I'm going to cut this pipe. Just go nice and steady around. Turned all the water off first. And I got to do the same thing on the hot side.
Not a drop of water yet, Richard.
What do you mean yet? Okay. Here's that one. Now I'm going to get this flue out of the way. There's a drop. You jinxed me. You ready?
Yep.
All right, now, Joe, I'm going to do the big lift here, and you just slide that pan in there. Ready?
Yep. A little more. Okay.
Okay, great. Get that back in position. All right, slide that up. All right, and now we just reverse the process. First the gas. A little bit of pipe sealant down here. And reconnect the union. And 2 wrenches.
How do you know it's tight enough, Richard?
When you can't go anymore. All right, I want to reconnect these screws for the flue connection. Want to make sure they're nice and tight for safety. And there's 3 of them. So we'll work on the hot water side first. I've cleaned the pipe, I've fluxed it, and I'm going to use this repair coupling that I can just slide down and bring right back. I'm ready to solder.
Richard, it looks like there's still a little water in that.
Well, there might be a little bit, but it's just about slowed down. I got a pretty hot torch, and time is money.
Understood.
And with these 3/4 fittings, it takes a little bit more heat. There it goes. Let's move my torch over here a little bit. It's always good to wipe the joint when it's done. This right here is your temperature and pressure relief valve for your water heater. If too much pressure built up in the tank, it would relieve down through this overflow pipe. And what we're going to do is we're going to extend this overflow pipe to here.
So you're going to use that as a place to mount it as opposed to changing the
Absolutely
plumbing.
right. So we can just zip tie this right on, and there's the float.
Great.
Now, I've soldered this thing out here because this threaded adapter is going to go into this valve, and I can't let heat get on this or it'll damage the valve.
Sure, that makes sense.
So I also want to pre-solder this threaded adapter for the same reason. I don't want to damage that valve. Good, good. We're gaining on it.
So what's the tape all about, Richard?
Well, it's a thread sealant. You know, it will get in between the threads when I screw this on. I could use the pipe dope, but this is actually neater and does a better job, I think. Last cut is the other half of the union. Okay, one last snug, and now we can put that sensor on.
Great.
All right, so I'm gonna make this connection up here. There's 3 spade connections right there. And there's a locking screw I'll put in. And down here is where that float wants to go. Joe, you get those zip ties?
Here you go, Richard.
Perfect. Get my fat little fingers on here. Okay, snug that up. Hold it right down there. I'm gonna need one more, Joe, too. What did we ever do before zip ties? Good, that's there, I'll snug them up in a bit. And there's our float. All right, Joe, now we'll turn the gas back on. I've already lit the pilot down in there. There it goes. And now let's give it a test. So just listen to that valve. I'm gonna raise the float as if this pan was filled.
Yep.
So imagine the water pouring in here with a catastrophic failure, the float rises, and it shuts it off. To reset it, you drop it. So it's also nice, you can test this thing.
Great, let's get Elena.
All right. Yeah, you gonna use that as your Christmas card? There you go. I don't know about that.
Thanks, Richard.
Well, it was a pleasure working with you. You're a great apprentice. There's my card if there's anything. And happy holidays to both.
Thanks a lot, Richard.
Thank you very much.
Hey, good job.
Nice job, Richard.
That was a lot of work. Was that really necessary?
Well, if that water heater leaks, it could be hundreds of gallons by the time help arrives. I mean, you decide.
I guess you're right.
Well, folks, you've just seen another episode of Ask This Old House. Until next time, I'm Steve Thomas.
I'm Roger Cook.
I'm Tom Silva.
And I'm Rich Trethui.
For Ask This Old House.
I want to know, will a pizza dish work?
Yeah, a
right.
big one.
For a
you know,
minute.
like the
No,
mega.
no.
Email your questions to our online address, asktoh@pbs.org, or write to us, care of This Old House Magazine, 1185 Avenue of the Americas, New York, New York, 10036. And thanks. Good morning, I'm Steve Thomas, and welcome once again to the loft here at Ask This Old House, where the questions of the day include tomatoes, snakes, toilets, and attic stairs. Gentlemen.
Hey, Steve.
Hey, Richard. What's in your mailbag?
Well, we got a lot of them, but this one caught my eye. From Kevin, Tarpon Springs, Florida. My wife and I were surprised with the ease that the toilet clogs in our house. We've tried to use a plunger. We're befuddled. What do we do?
Bepuddled?
Yeah, that's a good line. So I thought this could be a good time for a basic lesson in toilets. How it works. This tank is filled with water. There's a tank lever here that when you push this down, water should come down from the tank and go into this flush rim right here.
So this is hollow?
Yeah, I brought a cutaway that will really help to understand how it works. Okay, so here's the connection from the tank, here's the flush rim. There's small holes underneath here. So when you flush it, water's going to come down into the bowl.
That sweeps the bowl.
Right.
Yeah.
There's a larger hole right here, and that comes down to a jet hole at the bottom that's going to push a large amount of water up here, up over that crown. Now once that does, it creates a siphon or a suction to pull the contents right down through this trapway.
So it's a combination of push here and then the pull of the siphon on this leg.
And after it's flushed, it's very important that this thing, the water will come to this level so we create a water seal from the sewer gas down in the piping so there's no smell into the house.
So where do they clog up?
Well, there's a lot of things that can go wrong. It could be as basic as in the plumbing in the house or in the vent. But let's start from the toilet side. It could be here in the toilet tank. You could have the wrong level of water in the tank, or you could have a flush mechanism that doesn't open enough to put enough water down into that flush rim.
That flapper valve is just
Right,
closing.
just close it too fast. Right. It could also be that you have a clog in these holes underneath the flush rim, or a clog right here. Something could have gotten down here, so now you don't have that push.
Or if you had a lot of sediment in the water,
Right.
it could have clogged there. But generally, it's on the drain side.
Absolutely. It could be toilet paper or some foreign object that gets down into this trapway.
So how do you unclog it?
Well, every house should have this, a plunger. I mean, this is Old Faithful. The first word is about fear, meaning you've got a lot of water coming at you, you're afraid it's going to keep lifting. You should know where the shutoff valve is right here.
Right.
Okay, that's first. Now you show us how you would plunge that.
You know, usually it's filled to the brim with very disgusting looking stuff, so I approach it very gingerly.
Yeah, good idea.
I fill this thing up with, I mean, I don't want to splash.
That's right.
So what I do is I get in there and I sort of jiggle it.
Right.
Gently.
Right.
And hope that I can unclog it.
So let's review with the cutaway what happens when you do that. If you give a push this way that's causing force this way, if you've got a bunch of toilet paper here and it's going to clog and get even to a tighter clog, what you really want to do is just the opposite. You'd like to push down and get a tight seal, and then with a sudden push, pull it to create a vacuum or a pull back this way to draw the clog back. We can get at it.
And doing that is not for the faint of heart,
No.
because you could get a lot of
No.
splashing. What if that doesn't do it?
Well, the next line of defense is this. This is a closet auger.
It's a snake.
Well, people call it a snake, but it's actually a tool made expressly for this. Okay? It has a snake wire, but this is the most important part here. This is a padded bend, which means that when we put it in here, we won't scratch the porcelain.
Okay.
Okay? So then you would advance it slowly through the trapway. Just help me do that, okay? And you're pushing it through, up and over. Okay? So now, imagine that we caught the clog right there, and there's a little hook at the end of it. Now, once we caught it, watch your hands, I'm going to pull it back, ready? Then you would suddenly pull it back through, and hopefully you would have it at the end of the auger's snake.
Now, are there occasions when even an auger doesn't clear the clog?
Absolutely. There are times, I was thinking of my worst case was one time we just couldn't figure out what it was, and there was a part that looked like this. It was actually a kid's small bracelet.
Yeah.
And it got down into this trapway like this. So we would come and we would clear it with the auger there. And the next time the toilet was used, it would go this way. The next time we'd clear it, go like this. And we just, I don't know, we went 3 or 4 times. We finally got so sick of it, we put a new toilet in, smashed this thing, we got back to the shop, and found that's what it was. Sometimes it's cheaper to just break it and make it go away.
So there's a lot that can go wrong
There
with
is.
the toilet. All right, Richard. Thanks a lot.
All right.
And now, it's time for What Is It?
What is it? Styrofoam, little foam here, and a hook. Any ideas?
I know exactly.
Yeah, I do too.
Oh yeah, you
I
all
do.
do.
I got a couple.
You're all so smart.
I think I hear the ocean. Remember the old garden speakers they used to have? They were fake, but they were made up to look like rocks?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then they had the little rock that you would hide your keys in so you wouldn't be locked
First
out of the
place
house.
I looked for keys.
Well, this is the wintertime version.
Where is this going?
It's made to look like snow. So you
Oh,
just
yeah.
put it outside, and simply take your keys, hang them from the hook. They're supported up so they don't get cold.
Yeah.
I
So when
hate
you-
cold keys.
A big guy like you.
Well, that's good, Roger. You drop that down and they freeze and you can't get them out of the ground. But actually, how many times have you guys taken a hot cup of coffee to the job in the winter?
Yeah.
You put it down outside. Before you get back to it, it's freezing.
Oh, that is such a problem.
Lasts about 30
this
seconds.
this will solve that problem. Hot cup of coffee, walk in, the wind's blowing and it's cold. Inside that little hook, All right, watch what that's for. I dropped this over. It now insulates the cup, and now I have a stirrer to keep it. Sugar doesn't settle down. It's very nice.
That's inventive.
Very nice.
He gives you the coffee.
Now, you remember the segment you did on hearing protection? Well, this is the one that the expert did not show you.
Oh, there must be a reason.
See, this hook hooks onto your ear. And you tighten it up like this, and one on each side, you're good to go. All day.
No, I can't hear you. All right, you're all wrong, as usual.
Yeah.
All right, here's an outside garden faucet, and you're afraid it might freeze in the winter.
Yeah, I'm afraid of that.
This is designed to hook onto the handle, and you just tighten it up, and that'll keep it from freezing.
You gotta be kidding.
This is available in all kinds of colors.
Yeah.
You know, fabulous.
I actually think the coffee cup.
You know what? I think that's one of your best ideas ever.
New house. Very nice. Boy, with this new snow, there's plenty of snow on the ground and snow up on the roof. I noticed ice forming. That's a classic problem around here with ice dams. Well, I hope they're not having any problems inside with water leaking in, but we're here for attic stairs. Let's take a look.
Hi.
Good morning. I'm Tom Silva from
morning.
Ask This Old House. How are you?
Jessica, how are
Hi,
you?
Jessica.
Hey, Tom.
Hey, Tom. That can get confusing, you know.
It sure can.
Beating the drum.
Welcome to the house. Would you like to
Thank
look
you.
around?
Very nice. What do you got over here? Some collectibles?
This is stuff we picked up when we lived in Asia for 3 years.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Wow, you travel a lot?
Travel quite a bit.
This is great. Nice high ceilings in this place.
Yeah, come on in and see the rest of the house.
Oh, kitchen. Nice big kitchen. Granite tops. Island. Boy, this is nice. A lot of storage, too.
And back here, family room, which we use year-round.
Step down, cathedral ceiling. Boy, this is big.
Right in our huge backyard.
Oh, a lot of play space back there.
A lot of play space, a lot of mowing.
One thing I want to ask you about, I noticed when I pulled up, you've got some ice damming up in the front. Have you had any problems with water coming in?
No water leaking yet.
No water leaking yet. Well, that's good. You may want to address that with some more ventilation in the attic and some more insulation.
Yes, we've heard about the ventilation insulation issue.
That's the
quite a
key.
bit.
That's the key. Well, we got your email about some pull-down stairs.
Right. We need access into our attic.
Well, let's take a look.
Okay.
All right.
Well, Tommy, this is the master bedroom.
Wow, this is big, light, bright, vaulted ceiling. What do we got in here? Big bathroom.
And we've got a nice view out the back windows, plus a view of the pond out front. And
boy, this is really
it's
nice.
Really nice year
nice
round.
Nice and airy.
It is.
You know? What do you got back here?
Back here we have an office that Debbie and I use, so we don't necessarily have to go into our offices all the time to work.
That's handy.
Yep.
That's handy. I see the hatch.
This is the infamous hatch.
Yeah, infamous hatch. I wonder why the builder wouldn't have put some pull-down stairs in there.
Well, it's the mystery of builders, but you know, the problem is without pull-down stairs, it is really a hassle getting up there and changing the filters and doing servicing on the heater that's up there.
Yeah, I see you've got a ladder sitting right. Don't tell me you bring this ladder up from the garage all the time.
It comes up every time.
Yeah.
You have to unfold it, go up there, change the filter, do whatever we need to
It can be a real
do.
pain in the neck, can it?
Plus, we also like to use it for some storage up there.
Yeah. Well, you know what we need to do is get up there and take some measurements and see if we can get a pull-down stairs to fit.
That's great.
All right, let's open this up. Okay.
That's it.
That's it, huh?
I'm glad I don't work for the fire department.
Yeah. Oh, is that gonna be hold me?
Yeah.
That's the way it goes, huh?
Yeah, are you insured?
No, are you? This is the light switch?
That's the light switch.
Okay, let me turn that on. Oh boy. It's a little tight up here, Tom. But let me guess, this is the heating system for the second floor?
That is.
Which would definitely require some annual maintenance and some filter changing.
Once a month for the filters.
Yeah, yeah. And this area up here, I see if you, I guess if you put some plywood down over there, that would make a pretty good storage area.
Yeah, that's our plan. Put boxes up
Every
there.
little bit helps. Well, let me look at this. Now this looks really good. Our hatch, well, your hatch, not our hatch, but your hatch that existing is running in the same direction of the floor joist. Now the new hatch that's going to go in simply means that I have to cut back one joist system and head it off because it's going to be bigger and longer than this one.
Okay, it won't fit in the space here now.
No. We got to find out if we can get one to fit, which I think we can.
Okay.
Another benefit is the roof rafters are following the same angle as the stairway when we pull it down, so when you climb up, you won't hit your head.
Okay, no nail marks on my head, huh?
No nail marks. You
That's
don't want
great.
any nail marks. All right, so if you're up for it, I'm going to make a call to my supplier,
Okay.
see if he's got one in stock. I'm going to take a couple of measurements, give it to him, and see if he's got one. We'll pick it up.
Terrific.
All right, let me do it. Well, Tom, we were lucky because the supplier had one of these in stock.
Where do you get these?
You get it at the local home center. You can get it at a lumber yard, and I don't know, but who knows? You could probably get it at the web on the web too.
Do they come in different sizes?
Well, I know that this manufacturer makes 10 different sizes, so there's a wide range right there.
What does something like this cost?
Well, this is going to run you a little under $200.
Well, this will be a real break for me. Not having to hold that ladder up every time.
Got to make it easy, Tom. All right, I need 49 and a half. Marked. Let me square that off, then you can pass me that reciprocating saw. And we'll make a cut. Thank you. What I did there, Tom, is I cut the nails so that we can remove this piece easily without damaging the plaster on the ceiling.
Aren't you afraid of ruining all your blades with cutting through all those nails?
Actually, this is the best way to do it. Use a metal cutting blade, cut the nail off, and the piece comes out much easier. Next, I'm going to cut the trim with my utility knife so when we pull this away, it won't rip the drywall or damage the plaster.
I gather we're not going to reuse the trim?
No, it's all too small, Tom. I'll have to get some new stuff.
Okay.
Okay, thanks. Let me pass you these down. There's one. Lift that right out. And I have this one side to cut away, and we're in business. Okay, now we need to start putting this back together. I've marked for this hanger, which is going to support the new 2x8 header. I want to put that on first because I won't be able to get it in afterwards. All right, Tom, that's the last of two pieces that we need to make up our new opening. You want to grab one?
I'll grab one.
Okay, what I'm doing here is I'm nailing one of these new side joists to the new header. I'm going to slip this right in. Now here, I can actually drive a couple of spikes in. Okay, now I'm gonna nail off this hanger. Hold it up into position. Okay, Tom, I'm glad you got that shop vac here because we are now going to enlarge this opening and I'm going to cut it with the reciprocating saw. And I want you to keep this tube close to the saw so you absorb all the dust. You ready?
Ready.
Turn it on. Now this side. Ready? Okay, I want to take this piece. Now watch out, we got some stuff on top.
Got it.
All right, add a couple of fillers and we're ready for the stairs. Now this cleat is going to support the unit till I shim it. Okay, Tom, feel strong?
I feel strong.
All right, you push your end up high, right on top of the ladder there. There you go. All right, now I'm going to try to push it up into the opening. Hold that ladder if you can. Now, what I'm going to do is pull it back. Easy now. Perfect.
That's amazing. It fits.
Now I want to put some of these shim shingles in the opening, shimming it between the framing and the unit. Now, all I'm going to do is pull down the stairway enough so that I can drill a couple of holes and tighten it up so it won't fall out. First we drill a hole. I'm going to install these 4-inch lag bolts to hold us into position.
You just need the lag bolts to hold it?
That's all.
So I get the honors of opening up for the first time?
You sure do.
Oh, this is terrific.
Okay, now just unfold it nice and easy.
Okay.
Watch out now. There you go. Bring it right down. It's a little bit too long. See that?
Yep.
Okay, now what I have to do is cut that. What I want to do is I want to fold this up. Now I want you to keep pressure down on the stairway, just slightly, but so that it's just like that. You got it?
Got it.
Nice and firm. Okay, now I'm going to take 2 sticks. I'm going to have you hold this stick up against that stringer. I'm going to take another one for the floor plane. Slide this down just to the point. Up, right. Keep it tight on the stringer. Got it there?
Got it.
Okay, there's my angle. Now I need to get my length, so I'm going to flip it over. Mark my length. Now I have a template that I can mark on the side of this stringer. Got it with my circular saw. All right, that should do it, Tom.
Boy, these look fantastic.
Now, why don't you give it a try?
I'm going to do the maiden voyage.
There you go.
Oh my gosh, this is much better than my ladder.
Well, I hope it is. Come on down. We got a little more left to do. I got to trim the top, and we're in business.
Oh, I'm very, very happy with this. And you even cut them to length correctly.
Once in a while, we get lucky.
Hey.
All right, Tom, with these pieces of trim I cut on the miter box, we'll take them upstairs and put them together just like a picture frame.
Back together, back the way it should be.
Yeah. Okay, we're going to secure it with a little bit of glue and nails. Okay, Tom, I'm going to pass this to you, and you're going to hold that end, and I'm going to hold this end.
Okay.
And then
you'll position it?
Right there, just right there. I'm going to hold mine. Now I'm just going to tack this right up. Slide your end down to you just a hair. Right there.
That's a nice piece of work.
Looks pretty good, doesn't it?
It does. You do this for a living?
I try. Well, you're all set, Tom.
It looks terrific, Tommy. Thanks a lot. This is going to change our life.
Oh, I bet it will.
And my furnaces. All we need to do now is clean up. I'll take care of that so you can get going.
All right.
But I want to try it out one more time.
Go ahead. Okay, Tom. See you later.
Thanks, Tommy.
Well, Roger, spring is right around the corner. So what's on your agenda?
Well, Steve, it's April 1st. It's time to seed tomatoes. In fact, I got a letter from Barbara in Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania. She wrote, I'm a first-time gardener. I'd like to try to grow tomatoes, but I'm not sure if I should start with small, already grown plants or do the seeds myself.
So why wouldn't you just go to the garden center and buy plants?
Well, when you go to the garden center, you're buying what they grow, the varieties they want to grow. I like to grow heirloom varieties, different varieties, so that's why I do the seeds myself.
All right, how do you get started?
Well, Steve, it all starts here with a soilless mix.
Soilless.
Right. This is peat moss, perlite, and vermiculite mixed together, and it's all sterile, no diseases.
So you buy this in these plastic bags at the garden center?
Right. In this case, I would buy it because I'm going to use so little. You wouldn't bother mixing it yourself.
You got a tray?
Yep. I like to start it in this tray, and in the tray I put these individual packs, 6 packs, and I simply take the soilless mix and fill it all in.
So the plastic seems kind of inelegant. Why wouldn't you use a nice pottery
Again,
Not
I
like
want
this.
as sterile an environment as I can get. So once I get the soil in there, I simply push it down, add some more, grade it off to the top. It's nice and level.
So how tight do you want to compact it?
You don't want it tight, Steve. You want it firm. Now, one important key is to put a tag in with the seeds. You're never going to know what these individual plants are until they fruit. So this way I know what I'm growing.
All right. Anything special about seeds?
Well, on the back of each pack, there'll be a date. And that date should be this year's date. Okay, so you're ensured you're getting fresh seed.
And fresh seed will germinate. Is that the idea?
So what I'm going to take is 2 of these per cell.
Boy, they're tiny. It's tough to see them.
They're really small. Okay, so you just go around, lay 2 in each cell.
Why 2?
Well, Steve, just in case one doesn't germinate, it ensures I will have 1 per cell.
And what if both of them come up?
Well, I'll take a look at them, and the strongest one I'll leave, and the smaller one I'll simply cut off with a pair of scissors. Now, once the seeds are laid out, you simply push them down a little bit, about 1/2 inch.
More soil on
Yeah,
top?
a little more soil on the top. Nice and light. Okay.
And that's it?
Watering.
Well, you take a watering can, right?
No, you just think you're going to force all that water on there. You're going to separate the soil from the seed. What I like to do is take the 6-pack and immerse it in water in a small tray like this. Now what's going to happen through capillary action, the water is going to come up from the bottom to the top. The soil will turn dark in color and you'll know it's damp all the way to the top.
So do you need to start these in the sun?
No, you don't. All they need is what's comfortable for us, room temperature for the first 10 or 14 days. Then they're going to germinate. Once they germinate, I want you to put them in a south-facing window and give them as much sunlight as you can.
When do you set them out?
6 weeks after the frost. So give them a good 6 weeks and they'll be ready to go.
And then in the fall, fresh tomatoes.
All you can eat.
All right. Thanks, Roger.
You're welcome.
Hey, imagine lugging that ladder up from the garage every time he has to go up to change his filter. That's a pain in the neck.
I bet you guys have not even thought about ordering your tomato seeds for this year.
Don't have to. Thank you, Roger. You got those?
Thanks, Roger.
Yeah, excellent.
You did these for him?
Us. Did it for us.
Don't worry, Steve. I'll hook you up. Well, you've just seen what passes for another episode of Ask This Old House. Until next time, I'm Steve Thomas.
I'm Rich Trithui.
I'm Tom Silva.
And I'm Roger Cook.
For Ask This Old House.
Here you go, Steve. Take 6. Take the...
Email your questions to our online address, asktoh@pbs.org, or write to us, care of This Old House Magazine, 1185 Avenue of the Americas, New York, New York, 10036. And thanks.